Welcome back. Yes, we have completed the first week of the OHL regular season, which means the CHL top 10 rankings have been dropped. And I figured, why not go over the OHL representatives on the CHL top 10? Because it is a little fascinating to see who made the cut for this week. The last time we had the CHL top 10 was at the end of the preseason. We had 4 OHL teams make the cut. This week, we only have 3. The Owen Sound Attack. They have dropped out of the CHL top 10. They were holding on to the number 10 spot last time we had these rankings. So with that in mind, let's take a look at the top teams in the Canadian Hockey League. And it is an OHL team sitting at number 1. This may frustrate some junior hockey fans. It's the London Knights. They are number 1 in the country. And I think for some fans, they're not going to be too happy hearing about this. But tonight fans, they know they got a good team this year. They went to the OHL final last year with a solid squad. And you got to figure with a lot of returning players and new faces, this is a Knights team that could be competing again for the championship in the West. And just looking at some of the stats for why they're number 1 in the CHL top ranking, they went 2-0. Mind you, both of those games were against the Niagara Ice Dogs. And right there, you say it was against Niagara, and fans will kind of count them out a bit. They want to see them play some of the more competitive teams in the Ontario Hockey League. But Niagara gave them a bit of a run for their money. Those games relatively close at times, including game number 2 at the Meridian Center, where the Ice Dogs had a brief lead. But it would be the London Knights getting those 2 victories. Having a big weekend, San Jose Sharks prospect Kasper Hiltunen, he had 3 goals in the 2 games, so he was making his presence known, fitting in quite nicely with that London Knights lineup, and also making an impact, newly acquired goaltender Michael Simpson. He faced 60 shots in those 2 games and made 57 saves, which is quite remarkable. Even if you don't count out the Niagara Ice Dogs, when you get 60 shots in 2 games, you've got a good workload. And Michael Simpson, the former Peterborough Pete and OHL champion, made it count and got the London Knights the 2 victories. Also, Sam Dickinson, who's expected to be the top OHL draft pick heading into the NHL next summer. He had a good weekend as well with a goal and 3 assists. And over the weekend was also named top player of the night, which I know a few fans online were pretty vocal about because there was a couple other defensemen, especially with the Kitchener Rangers, who could have been given a mention as top player in the OHL. But with the London Knights, they're a very controversial team in regards to a lot of fans in the OHL. They kind of view London as the team to beat. And I think the London Knights, they feed off of that because year in, year out, you're going to get a very competitive London Knights team, and this year is no exception. So they're off to a 2-0 start, and right now the top team in the Canadian Hockey League. The second highest team representing the OHL, the Saginaw Spirit, they're number 5 in the Canadian Hockey League. Their season got off to a bit of a slow start, losing 4-3 on the road to the Kitchener Rangers Friday night, and then returning home for their home opener against the Sarnia Sting and getting a big victory there. So their record right now, 1-1. Michael Misa, he is going to have a fantastic year. He got off to a hot start, 2 goals on the first 2 shots of the game against Kitchener, but the Saginaw Spirit just not able to hold on to that lead, and the Rangers coming back and having a big weekend themselves. They did not make the CHL top 10, but Michael Misa having a good weekend for the Saginaw Spirit. Also Hunter Haight, the former Barrie Colt and Minnesota Wild prospect, he leads Saginaw in scoring right now with a goal and 3 assists. So this is a Saginaw Spirit team. They're hosting the Memorial Cup. Expect them to maybe add a few more pieces before the OHL trade deadline. And, right now being recognized as the number 5 team in the Canadian Hockey League and the second best team right now in the rankings in the Ontario Hockey League. Also making the cut in the CHL top 10, the Sudbury Wolves. They're back. They're number 8 in the Canadian Hockey League. They had a big win on home ice in their home opener against the Brantford Bulldogs, a 6-2 win, but then lost 2-1 Sunday afternoon against the North Bay Battalion. Dom DiVincentis, he just shut the door for the Battalion. He's just giving more reason why he might be one of the top goaltenders in the Ontario Hockey League, and really Sudbury having no answer to that. The Wolves, they did have a lead in that hockey game, but gave up 2 unanswered, and the North Bay Battalion able to get the win. in the end. But you have to also figure for the Sudbury Wolves, they're still missing some key pieces like Quentin Musty. He's still with the Seattle Kraken. He'll be back soon, I'm sure. And also Matthew Mania is still waiting to make his regular season debut. And before even the weekend started, the Sudbury Wolves were making noise. They had a big trade with the Windsor Spitfires, bringing in some defense. They picked up Nick DeAngelis and Trevor Odell. So you know that DeAngelis, he is a big defender. He's going to help that back end. The Sudbury Wolves right now, one of the favorites to win the Eastern Conference. It looks like it's going to be a good battle in the Central Division between the Sudbury Wolves and the Barrie Colts. So Colt fans, I'm sure, are excited that those games against Sudbury are just going to get a little more heated if the Sudbury Wolves are in fact going to be one of the top teams in the Ontario Hockey League. So the Sudbury Wolves coming in at number 8. Now, I kind of wonder if there should have been an honorable mention or maybe consideration for the Sioux Greyhounds cracking the CHL top 10. They had an outstanding start to the 23-24 season. They put up 18 goals. Yes, 18 goals in 2 games, including 11 against the Flint Firebirds to open the regular season. And then they also beat the Brantford Bulldogs on the weekend. So I think the Sioux Greyhounds not getting enough love from the Canadian Hockey League. I'm kind of surprised that maybe they didn't take the number 10 spot, at least in the CHL top 10 rankings. But they do have a big game Wednesday night. They're going to be hosting the London Knights. So that could even be the biggest test of the season so far for London. They're going to be on the road against the Sioux Greyhounds, who put up 18 in 2 games. Jack Beck leading the way. He was acquired from the Ottawa 67s during the preseason. He put up 6 points in those 2 games. And with also to note, Owen Allard and Travis Hayes, they both had 5 points, 3 goals, 2 assists to their credit. So this is a Sioux Greyhounds team that you cannot take lightly, and it's going to be fascinating to see because, of course, they were one of the teams that put in a bid to host the Memorial Cup this year and ended up going to the Saginaw Spirit. So you almost have to wonder, are the Sioux Greyhounds going to try and spoil the party with their West Division rivals? And right now, it's looking pretty good for them, and it's entertaining, which is exactly what OHL fans want to see. So those are the CHL top 10 rankings for this week. London Knights taking that top spot. Saginaw and Sudbury also making the cut. And a team that I think deserves a little more consideration, Sioux Greyhounds. But let me know what you think in the comments below. Let me know, do you think the London Knights deserve to be that top team in the Canadian Hockey League? Is there another team that maybe should be there? Should a team be dropped out? Let me know in the comments section below. And don't forget to hit like and subscribe, as the more likes this video gets, or the more subscribers, the more attention the algorithms and all that will give to these videos. And I just want to be able to talk OHL hockey because junior hockey, the OHL is probably the best development league when it comes to prospects heading up to the CHL, and it's no exception this year. We got a lot of players to look forward to, including Sam Dickinson, who's on that London Knights team. So let me know what you think, and again, like and subscribe, and we will talk to you again soon.